Hello, good evening and welcome. You've just entered the arena and I'm Michael Coren. A great show for you this evening. Now, quite the past few days. In the United States of America, Rick Santorum dared to say that as well as military and political warfare, there was such a thing as spiritual warfare. Now, some context. He was speaking to Orthodox Roman Catholic students at an Orthodox Roman Catholic university. So you might think that include, I know, an Orthodox Roman Catholic comment. He also said that Satan had his eyes on the United States of America. Well, look, there is such a thing as evil. And if you don't believe me, don't believe this, you're very, very unworldly. For this entirely moderate and sensible comment, Santorum was once again pilloried and abused by the same media and chattering classes who think Ellen DeGeneres is a serious, stable human being, that Disney reflects reality, and that Oprah is a philosopher. Odd how they all prefer Mitt Romney. Now, he's a Mormon. With all due respect, if you want weird, odd theology, spend some time with that particular sect. In the Middle East, 10,000 people have been slaughtered in Syria now. Western reporters targeted and murdered. Thousands have died in Egypt, more die in Libya, Yemen, and the rest. So, of course, the organised international left, the Labour movement, the liberal Protestant churches have all been mobilising to protest the inhumanity and fascism of Arab Muslim governments, leaders, regimes, parties. No, hardly anything, hardly a murmur, barely a mention. Yet, at the same time, these same leftist parties, unions and silly churches continue and increase their campaign against Israel. But it's got nothing to do with Israel being full of Jews. Of course not. Perish the thought. Some of my best friends, such nice people. Blah, blah, blah. And you know what? One no would have been enough. In Afghanistan, mobs of brutal religious fanatics killed people, more than 30 now, because the Americans burned some desecrated copies of the Coren. Barack Obama, peace be upon him, apologized, groveled, yet thousands of Christian Bibles were incinerated not so long ago in the same Afghanistan by the Americans because their very existence might cause offense to Muslims. The reaction? There were a few angry letters. Okay, I'll write a letter right now. Dear Islamic world, if you stop behaving like barbaric, psychopathic lunatics, we'll begin to believe you when you say yours is a religion of peace. The proof is in the halal pudding. The government probably went too far in its bill to increase police power and enable them to spy on your internet. All right, okay, they made a mistake. But the opposition began to scream at this and claim that they too cared about cracking down on child pornography, but that there were other ways to do so. All right, there probably are. But many of these same critics have also called for the age of consent for buggery as well as normal sex to be lowered even further, for children to be sexualized at an increasingly early age, and for perverse sex education curricula to be forced on children, and for their parents to be deprived of their right to object. Hypocrites? That's a kind word for it. In Caledonia, native thugs continued to intimidate cowardly bullies in OPP uniforms. In Iran, the mad mullahs continued to promise death to, well, pretty much everybody. And in Canada, Bob Rae, well, sincerely apologized for a Liberal staffer being behind the personal attacks on Minister Vic Taves, but not for that little twit Dauphin Justin Trudeau, who was very much part of the whole WikiLeaks garbage. Now, I wonder if somebody will punch this fool's lights out. Stay tuned for that one, my friends. Stay tuned.